Hey everyone, Nate here. Today I wanted to show you guys some of the new progress on 1981 the game. If you're new here, this is an asymmetrical horror game inspired by the classic Friday the 13th the game. In each match, a group of counselors are trying to survive the night while one player controls the killer and hunts them down. The counselors have to explore the map, search cabins for items, and work together to escape, while the killer is trying to stop them before anybody makes it out alive. The game focuses on tension, teamwork, and horror atmosphere, and over the last few weeks, I've been working on a bunch of new systems, reworks, and improvements that make the game feel a lot more polished. So today I'll show you some of the new features that I've been building. The first thing I want to show you guys is some environment updates I've been working on. One thing a lot of people mentioned was that the game felt a little too dark, especially when moving around the map or exploring inside cabins. So I went through and adjusted a lot of the lighting and ambience to make things a little brighter while still keeping that horror atmosphere. The goal is to make the game tense and creepy, but not so dark that players can't actually see what's going on. I also reworked all of the cabins across the map. This includes the interior, spawn locations, and the overall layout of objects inside the cabins. Since cabins are where counselors spend a lot of time searching for items and trying to survive, I wanted those spaces to feel a little better to explore and move around in. So now everything should feel a lot cleaner, more consistent, and easier to navigate, while still keeping that abandoned camp feeling. Another thing I wanted to talk about is testing and bug fixing. Recently, I posted a short gameplay clip of the game, and a lot of people were saying things like, "This game already looks finished, why not release the game right now?" And while I appreciate that, the reality is a lot of things happen behind the scenes that players don't usually see. When you're building a multiplayer game like this, there are always bugs popping up in places that you don't expect. So I wanted to show you guys a quick clip of some of the things we've run into during testing. Most of these bugs came from our playtest with the tester team, and they've been doing an awesome job finding issues and reporting them. A lot of these bugs have already been fixed, and a big part of development recently has just been tracking down problems and cleaning up systems to make everything more stable. It's not always the most exciting part of game development, but it's one of the most important if you want the game to actually run smoothly. Alongside bug fixing, I've also been reworking a few systems in the game. Some of these changes aren't huge visually, but they help make the game feel a lot smoother when you're actually playing it. I've been going through different parts of the game and improving how things work behind the scenes, cleaning up code, and making systems easier to expand on. A lot of development time goes into refining things that players might not immediately notice, but they make a big difference in the overall experience. These kind of reworks help make the game more stable, easier to maintain, and easier to build new features on top of later. So while some of these updates might seem small on the surface, they're really important for making sure everything works well as development continues. Another thing I've been working on, and something I'm really excited about, is the killer AI system. The main reason I started building this was for custom lobbies because nobody wants to play as the killer. So instead of the match just not starting, the game can spawn an AI killer to run the match. I also built it for certain debugging purposes when I didn't have that many testers around or I needed feedback on something really quickly. The AI can patrol around the map, detect counselors, and once it finds someone, it'll start chasing them. During a chase, it can decide between different actions like attacking, grabbing, or continuing to pursue the player. It can also deal with things like environment objects like doors and windows that get in the way of the counselor. The killer can also use abilities like morph, sense, and stalk just like the regular um, Jasons. I also spent a lot of time making sure the AI can recover if something goes wrong. Like if it gets stuck or pathfinding fails, it can reset what it's doing and keep the match running smoothly. It's been a really fun system to build and something I'm excited to keep improving and developing as the game continues. The last thing I wanted to talk about are some of the quality of life updates I've been working on. One of the bigger ones is the admin panel. This has been really useful during testing because it gives admins and moderators a much easier way to manage the game while everything is happening live. From the panel, we can do things like view players in the server, manage bans, check moderation, history, run commands, and look at server information all in one place. It just makes everything a lot easier to manage during playtests, especially when we're trying to test features and deal with bugs at the same time. I also have a custom chat system in the game now. If you want to see more about that, you can check out some of my previous devlogs where I go into more detail about how it works. And one thing I'm currently working on is a virtual keyboard for Xbox players. Since console players can't really type the same way PC players can, this will let them chat in game and communicate with other players more easily. It's still a work in progress, but it should make the experience a lot better for console players once it's finished. That's going to be it for this development update on 1981 the game. There's a lot more that I'm working on, and a lot more systems I want to add and improve as development continues. If you're interested in this project and want to keep up with development, make sure to subscribe. I'll be posting more devlogs as the game gets closer to release. You can also join the Discord server if you want to follow development more closely, talk with the community, or potentially be part of future playtests. And if you want to see more about some of the systems I've talked to you about today, you can also check out some of my other devlogs on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.